Today's Patreon video put forward by Katie Abbott sees us back on the Mischief Theatre. Well, not quite the Mischief Theatre. The writers, well, three of them, of the Mischief Theatre. Can't get my words out. They're all on tonight with Jimmy Fallon, and they've wrote some sort of sketch called The Worst I Ever Bombed. This could mean one of about 20 different things. Let's check it out. Okay, let's go. Okay.
I'm Henry Lewis.
I'm Henry Shields.
I'm Jonathan Sayer.
We're from The Play That Goes Wrong, which is now previewing on Broadway at the Lyceum Theatre. Opens
Which
on
is
April
cool.
2nd. And we're going to tell you about some of the
Things that have gone wrong to us.
things that have gone wrong on stage for us, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll start.
Things that have gone wrong on a play where things are supposed to go wrong, but things have gone wrong in the play where things are supposed to gone wrong. That is some sort of alternative universe that's making my head pickle.
So the worst time I bombed on stage is I was in a drama school production of Medea. And the director of the show didn't trust me particularly. He thought that I made everything. I always went for the gag, I always went for the laugh. And he said that my performance style was very limited at the time, and which in fairness it was. And so we did Medea, and I was cast as the dead child at the end. So I didn't really get time to showcase my versatility. And he kept saying, just play it seriously, play it seriously, just play it seriously. It's very sad. It's a very sad moment. So the very end of the play, the idea is I was brought on as this dead child, and Medea had to cry over me, and that was the end. Very, very sad. And I had to be covered in blood. And I don't know why, but the design of this show meant that we all had to wear like linen trousers, and we all had to be either topless or in like linen vests and things like this. And I had to be topless in these linen trousers, and I had to cover myself in blood. And stage blood is made out of essentially syrup.
Yeah, corn syrup.
So I covered myself in blood, and because it was a drama school show, we didn't rehearse with the blood. We just did the show straight away. So I covered myself in blood, and I lied down in the wings, waiting to be dragged on by Medea. And Medea started to drag me on, a girl called Sophie, and she started to drag me, and I came onto the stage, and my back, because it was covered in sticky glue stuff, my back just got stuck to the rubber floor of the stage. It was like one of those dance mats. So she was going, "Oh, my son, my son, my son," and I just started to bind, and she couldn't move me at all, and I could hear the faint sound of a few people in the audience laughing. So this isn't supposed to be a funny moment. So I tried to, discreetly as I could, as a dead body, just roll my back up so that I kind of unstuck from the floor.
Yeah.
So Sophie, the girl who was playing Medea, pulled me, and I moved along finally. She's got a little tiny titter of a laugh, but then annoyingly, I left a little pool of sticky blood. And as I was pulled, my linen trousers caught to this sticky floor.
Jesus.
And like a hand in a glove, just pulled me out of my pants almost completely. And I had to pull my pants up. And then everyone laughed, and there was a blackout, and that was how Medea ended. And I suppose the drama school teacher was right.
And people saw more than they probably should have. Maybe instead of using corn syrup, these guys should have gone to one of them joke shops and just used the fake blood that you buy in a canister. Or you know what I mean? It's not sticky, it's just watery. But I mean, from a distance, you're not going to be able to tell the difference, you know what I mean? Well, that's a funny story. Corn syrup and rubber is no joke.
I could only play things for laughs, and my performance was limited, even as a dead body.
Good. My story is one that happened between me and Hen in another show we do in London called The Comedy About Bank Robbery.
He's laughing already.
These little explanation. There are two scenes that are very similar. The first one, I come in and we have a bit of dialogue, and then I go off. And then some other scenes happen, and then the second team, I come on and I tell him to take his pants off. Because in the context it makes sense.
Okay.
In the context it makes sense because of the intervening scenes are justified having to take his pants off.
Right.
One day I came on.
Why are all these stories about people getting naked in the lower half? first guy's pants have come off. This one, his pants are coming off.
For whatever reason, I just started doing the second scene first. So there was no reason for me to want him to take his pants off. They'd not been set up, no explanation. Just came on and said, "Hey, take your pants off." And him was just very confused and obviously just stared at me.
It was very funny. I mean, you realised something was wrong, but not what was wrong.
He wasn't wearing embarrassing underwear, was he?
So I just kind of, well, something's wrong, and I needed to fix the problem, so I just kept saying it. I'll just keep saying it. So I just kept going, "Take off your pants." And then he kept being like, "What?" And I was like, "Why isn't he taking his pants off? Take off your pants." And I went on and on for a really long time.
Yeah.
The audience just being like, "Why is that man demanding the other man takes his pants off? What's this show become?" Until someone
What have we signed up for? Is this a strip show? What are they doing? Why does everyone keep getting naked in these Mischief Theatre productions?
came on and just started the next scene. Left in shame.
Yeah, sheepish.
And then I had to come on and do the second scene, by which point it had been justified, and I come on and say, "Take your pants off," and everyone was like, "Oh,
You do that again.
weird. Why didn't you like pre-curse that? Why did you think it earlier?"
I also then have a lot of lines subsequent to that about how that's never happened. Which was particularly ironic. Because obviously it had happened in recent memory. So, yeah, so that was interesting.
Go on, what's your story?
My one is so when we toured The Play That Goes Wrong all around the
What I was going to say, I thought they were going to be talking about times when the play that went wrong, which is why what I thought they were doing. But they're talking about just times that they bombed on their own. Because I forgot I was going to say that because I dared him talk. But I got so engaged in the stories that I forgot I still needed to say that. So I've said it now. It's okay. This is stories from their earlier careers from different plays. Well, apart from these two.
We had a lovely gentleman who was understudying, and he played one of the crew members in the show.
I know this story.
And amazing guy. And we there's a joke at the top of Act 2 where the curtain goes out to start Act 2, and everyone's still getting everything ready. And there's people with ladders. And,
Right, yeah.
And he was always involved in
For the
this sort of
sarcasm.
chaos, and then the curtain goes down. And then it comes back up and everything's perfectly set. That's the joke. And he was always there, and he always did a slightly different thing. So one day he had a book, the next day he was on his phone, and then one day he brought in a big box of raspberries and was eating them.
Right.
It was huge, this box.
Yeah,
So it was like huge.
And we thought, well, this is being out of pun, indeed. And we thought that's very funny. And so he was sat there eating them, and he was really kind of pleased with this idea, just showing everybody. And we thought, well, this is great, okay. And then the curtain went down, and then he went to run off because he has to quickly clear the stage before the curtain goes back out. And he tripped over, and the raspberries went all over the stage. I've never seen fruit spread as quickly as it did.
They could have used them squashed raspberries for his blood instead of corn syrup.
He just panicked and just ran off. And we were all standing there. I remember John just saying, "Oh no," just as the curtain went. And we had to then continue this scene. And I'm on stage for 20 minutes straight without leaving in this scene. And
with raspberries.
There were just raspberries all over the floor. We were treading them into the carpet. And the weirdest thing was seeing all the new characters enter. Because every time a new person entered into the scene, they saw that the floor was covered in raspberries. And you just saw the shock.
Right.
And then trying to work out, because raspberries don't feature in the show normally. And so that was very, very, very funny.
And it was like an ice rink by the end,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
people were slipping, all
People
the
fall
clothes
down.
were covered in
Like
red.
in the show, I had to die at the end and roll around on the floor, so I was just covered in raspberries.
And you're in a coat kind of similar
Yeah,
colour to
similar
this.
to this, so
So
it
it looked
really
kind
show
of like
up.
a blood bath.
The wardrobe department were furious as well.
But you're not supposed to have food on stage, and obviously not only did he have food on stage, he
Food
had
everywhere.
food all over the stage.
Wow.
So that was a bit of a disaster.
Wow. I mean, you can, when you're doing something live, you can never predict the things that go wrong because you think it's going to be the same every single night. But within a live scenario, shit happens, and it does. And that 3 very, very funny stories. I think the favourite story of mine was the first one. The fact the guy was stuck to the floor, well, the mats, and then he pulled his pants off and everything because of the corn syrup was sticking to everything. But yeah, it's an interesting insight into like behind the scenes of like these. Obviously, we've been checking out the Mischief Theatre in certain different plays that they've done, And it's interesting to hear these stories of them actually messing up or something messing up their show. Enjoyed that. Anyway, what did you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out the original video, and I'll see you next time.